Welcome Year 2 to another English lesson. So today we're carrying on with writing instructions how to make a potion. Yesterday you were looking at writing the list of ingredients and use commas. Today we're going to write the whole thing. So let's get started. So our learning objective today is to be able to write a set of instructions. Today you're going to see if you can write the whole thing yourself, obviously with a little bit of help from me. So let's go back to yesterday. Can you remember what we did? Here's a picture just in case you need a little reminder. So I did in my potion, what do we need? Perfume, comma, vitamins, comma, toothpaste, comma, dog hair, comma, worms, comma, frog slime, comma, water from a puddle, comma, soil, comma, floor cleaner, comma, beetle eggs, and green paint. Now, obviously, when you read, you shouldn't read comma, but I'm just reading it to remind you that you need to put a comma in after each word. And then the last two words, you put an and in the middle. Now, what are we going to do today? We're going to write a whole set of instructions. So can you remember what order they come in? What order did the subheadings come in? The heading and the title come first. Oh, now what comes next? Oh, what do we need? What comes after that? Let's have a look. Oh, the method comes after that. And what's the next thing? Oh, the picture and the caption. So let's see what we need in each of those sections. So what title can we use? Now you're going to tell people how to make a potion or a magic medicine. Let's see if we can make that into a title. Do you have any ideas? You can pause the video now and think of some ideas. Did you think of some ideas? Okay, this is my idea. How to make a potion. After the title is the method. So what does the method need to include? A method tells you how to do the process. Okay, so it tells you in little bite-sized bits of what to do. It needs to have the words in it like first, next, then, and last or lastly. It needs to be specific, so it needs to be clear, so someone knows exactly what to do. So recipes tell you how much of an ingredient to add into the mixture. Okay, so if you're saying that you want to pour in a bottle of medicine, you would say pour in a whole bottle or pour in half a bottle. It needs to have an opening sentence, which we call an introduction, and it also needs to have a closing sentence, which we would call a conclusion. So let's have a look at an introduction and conclusion. What would they look like in a set of instructions? So this is my example. When making a magical potion, you can add in any ingredients you can find in the house. The more wicked, the better. Another example, make sure you write the list down of what you add and how much. Don't forget, like George. Just like in George's Marvelous Medicine, he didn't write anything down. When he had to make the next potion, he forgot. Then in the middle you'd have the method, which I've just written the word method, but yours will obviously be longer. And at the end, the conclusion, you're going to sum everything up. So in the end, my example is, once you have finished making your potion, write a label for the bottle with a warning on it. This is to make sure no one drinks it. So in real life, if you really made a potion or a medicine, you really wouldn't want anyone to drink it. So you're giving people a warning at the end. So the next thing you'll need after you've done, so it goes heading first, then you have your what you need, then you have your introduction, your method and conclusion, and then at the very end you have your picture and your caption. So when drawing the picture and writing the caption, they have to be related to the set of instructions. So I've taken one from George's Marvelous Medicine, and your caption only needs to be one sentence telling you about the picture. So if you look at the picture, Grandma's up in the air. Now, if you just looked at that picture, you might not know what's happening. So the caption I've written is warning in capital letters. This potion can have drastic effects. So it's saying that, gives you the clue that Grandma has drunk the potion, and look, it's had an effect that she's flown out of her seat. So here is my instructions on how to make a potion.
You could change the word potion for medicine if you wanted to follow George's Marvellous Medicine, or you could write how to make a marvellous medicine. Now, here's what we need. You will need, I've put a cauldron, but you could use a saucepan like George did, a wooden spoon, or you could use a stick. I've put a fire because I thought it might be nice to have the cauldron on a fire, but you could put it on a cooker, and a bottle. And then I've written and lots of other ingredients, because I could do my own one, but I want to see if you can think of some things. Now, this is a list. So what do I need in between these two? So between the cauldron and the wooden spoon, what do I need in between them? Can you remember? I need to add a comma. So cauldron, wooden spoon, and then need another comma between wooden spoon and fire. And then afterwards I need another comma between fire and bottle. And then I've got and lots of other ingredients. Okay, so let's read it again. So I've got a cauldron, wooden spoon, fire, bottle, and lots of other ingredients. Okay, you can draw pictures of the other ingredients that you want. If you wanted to add some shampoo in, you could do that. Or so in the story they use some lipstick and some paint. You can draw that if you wanted to, if you didn't want to write it. So here's my method, and your method might be similar. It might be a little bit different to mine. Pour in all ingredients. Pour in all ingredients. Oh, pour in all the ingredients, it should be. Pour in all the ingredients into the cauldron, full stop. See, even teachers make mistakes. Put the cauldron on the heat and stir. Once the potion has boiled, leave it to cool down. Lastly, pour the potion into a bottle and label it with a warning. Why do you think you might put a warning label on the bottle? I think that you might put a warning label on because if you put things in there like rat poison and shampoo and paint and shoe polish, that would make someone really poorly, wouldn't it? So you'd put a warning label on it to warn people not to take it. Now, in the story of George's Marvellous Medicine, obviously George didn't do that because he wanted to give it to Grandma to try and fool her, but in real life he wouldn't do that. So you would put a warning label on it. So let's see if you can have a go at writing your own instructions. Remember, you can draw pictures or you can write words for what you need. Remember to add your commas in and your and. Where it says lots of other ingredients, you can list those if you want. I've just written it there because I wanted to leave up to you what you wanted to add in. But if you can't remember, you could go back to George's Marvellous Medicine and think of some of the things he used. Okay? Now, the method could stay the same, or you could add some of these words in which I didn't add in. First, then, and I did add in the word lastly, but I will put it there as well. Okay, so these are really, really important words to put in. I didn't add them in this time, so maybe what you could do, you could copy mine out, but add in first, then, next, lastly. Okay, I can't wait to see what ingredients you are going to put in your magical potion.
So when you're writing, even at home, what do you need to remember? So what is our toolkit for today? And when you do your writing, if you put this screen back up and pause the video, then you can have it so you can remember. So we need to have capital letters and full stops. In everything, we need to have capital letters and full stops. Like I always said at school, in topic, in RE, in maths, in everything. We need to have neat and properly formed handwriting. Okay, so you need to have either your cursive handwriting or your normal handwriting, but your letters need to be formed properly and starting in the right place. We need to have headings and subheadings. So for this one, you're not going to write the word title, but you will write the word what do you need. You're going to write the word method. So you're going to have your heading, which will be your title and your subheadings. You're going to have commas when you write a list. Make sure you put a comma between each word, except the last two where you're going to write and. You're going to use different punctuation. You could use question marks, or you could use some exclamation marks. That would look nice. You need to make sure you write on the lines, okay, not above the lines. And if you haven't got any line paper, maybe you could ask a grown-up to draw some lines for you, because that'll make your writing look much neater. Make sure you leave finger spaces between words, otherwise it's very hard to read and it looks like it's all one word. Make sure you leave paragraphs. So after what do you need, you leave a paragraph and you go to the next line. Then when you're writing the method, you write the sentence for the introduction, next line. Method, then after the method, next line, then you do the conclusion. And another good thing is to use some adjectives, use some interesting words, some wow words. And the last thing, which is the most important, is you need to do your own version. Okay, in the next few slides, you're going to see my version. My version is just very short, but what I don't want to see you to is everybody sending me exactly the same as mine, because that'll be really boring for me to read. I want to see you using your imaginations. I want to see lots of different ingredients and see if you can try to make the method a little bit different. I know it's tricky. So let's have a go now. So at school, this is where you would do your hot write. And we know at school that we don't really get any help with our hot write. It's where the teachers like to see what you can do. So remember, try and do your own version so I can enjoy reading lots of different sets of instructions, okay? Try not to just copy the ones that I've done, because you're not using your imagination and you're not learning. And remember the toolkit. So if you want, go back to the slide where it has the toolkit in, and you can pause the video and you can have that up to remind you what you need to add into your writing. Good luck, and remember to ask an adult to take a picture of your writing and put it on Google Classrooms, attach it so I can see it, and then I can mark them all. Well done for today.